heard the story of a Sumi Naga girl's intense heartache that gave birth to an intense taste, which over time became the byword for Naga culinary art. Savor it here. Kuju Nakali, a Sumi Naga girl, had lost her parents when she was young and was growing up in her uncle's house. Her uncle's wife was a bit cruel and miserly type. Every day, the aunt used to make Kuju Nakali do all the household chores, cook lunch for the family, and then she'd send her to the fields to do farming work. The girl grew dark and morose. The miserly woman wouldn't let her carry more than a few half-cooked soybeans for lunch in the fields. The stuff was barely edible, bland and repetitive. Tired of eating that unsavory stuff, Kuju Nakali began addressing her hunger with wild fruits and semi-edible raw wild stuff. Ignoring the painful packet of soy she carried to the fields, she would often shove the packet of her daily quota of soy into the layers of hay stacked up in a corner of the stilt hut built in the fields. One day, hunger assailed her piercingly when she was working in the fields, and there was no wild fruit or other edible substance available to her. Maddening hunger made her look for anything that could fill her stomach. Suddenly, she remembered the soy packets she'd stuffed in the haystacks. After all, they were stuff meant to be eaten. She gouged out some of the soy packets from the hay, long hidden in the warmth of the hay. A strong aroma assailed her nose, but hunger was stronger than the smell. She tried it, and the next moment she was transported to a state of bliss. The long stuffed soy, fermented in the warmth of the haystack, tasted very differently pleasant. Thereafter there was no stopping. She invented the art of fermenting soy and produced that otherworldly tasty stuff. She shared the exotic stuff with her friends who praised its exotic flavor. The new gastronomic delight was given the name Axone, or Akuni, meaning strong smell. Over time, it spread to other Naga tribes and became the culinary staple of Nagaland. Soon, friends began ordering Akuni from her, paying with shawls and garments. Gradually, she started trading in the culinary marvel she had invented, and became rich, independent, and liberated from the cruel treatment meted out to her by her aunt. At her wedding, she demanded a huge asana or bride price, a fortune in money, a pair of mithun, and other animals, the covetable girl that she was now. Akuni is, as you've already learnt, fermented soybean. It is typically a solid cake or a dry crumble with an intense, pungent, almost cheesy or ammoniated aroma. The flavor is savory and nutty but incredibly strong. The Sumi Naga tribe, who are credited with producing the best quality Akuni, rely on a traditional kitchen fireplace in a process that takes about 5 to 7 days of unyielding patience. The only essential ingredient needed for making Akuni is dried soya beans, favored because they grow well in the Naga hills and provide a muscular source of protein in the traditional diet. To wrap these fermenting beans, you need fresh banana or sycamore leaves. Then you need a bamboo basket, a pot for boiling, a wooden mortar and pestle for pounding, and a traditional kitchen fireplace with a shelf above it. The smoke and gentle heat from the fire are central to achieving that unadulterated, authentic flavor. The straightforward march begins with cleaning and soaking the dried soybeans for 20 to 30 minutes, followed by boiling them until they are tender, but still firm, never allowing them to become mushy. Once boiled, the beans are poured into a bamboo basket to drain all excess water. These drained beans are then placed in a pot or basket and kept on a shelf above the fireplace, covered with a banana leaf. The smoke and warmth initiate the fermentation process, leaving the beans undisturbed for about 4 days in the summer or up to a week during the colder winter months. After this initial stage, the beans are taken down and pounded gently using a wooden mortar and pestle, crushing them into a semi-coarse paste, rather than a fine puree, a texture described as mashing them similar to how you would crush garlic. Some even choose to dry the fermented beans further in the sun until all moisture is gone, grinding them into a powder for chutneys and pickles. Ultimately, the entire process relies on sensory judgment. A skilled cook knows the Akuni is ready simply because it smells right. Smoked pork with Akuni is not a recipe. It is a relationship between a girl and her survival, between a tribe and its land, between a people and their scattered diaspora. Every bite carries the weight of folklore, the warmth of the hearth, and the unmistakable message. The story of Akuni is not merely a chronicle of a condiment. It is a muscular narrative of survival, a sovereign testament to how intense heartache can be distilled into an intense, unadulterated taste. That governs the Naga culinary art. There are hints that the story of the unfortunate Sumi girl is a concentrated form, shaped from the desultory strands of folkloric traditions, in circulation in Nagaland. One holds it was a house help who used to bury uneatable boiled beans allotted to her, only to dig them up, fermented, and stumble on something delicious. Another holds that it was two sisters who ditched their field lunch under the roof, only to return to a transformed treasure. But the final outcome is universal. Akuni, to a Naga, is nothing less than their mother's hug, while to many outsiders it is stinky. The common question a Naga youth is likely to pose to his fellow Naga friend is, do you hide your Akuni stash like contraband in your Delhi PG? For there are incidents when Naga tribespeople in Delhi or other mainland Indian cities tried cooking their signature identity dish, and neighbors banged doors urging them to stop the offensive smell emanating from their kitchen. Enter the 2019 Netflix flick Akuni. The film dwells on the Akuni Pain Nagas, and all ethnic Northeasterners for that matter, suffer outside Northeast, particularly in the metros of India. It nails the racism roast, neighbors banging doors over that offensive smell, compelling Delhi police to circulate an urge to Northeast kids not to cook the smelly stuff, please, for the sake of societal peace and order in the neighborhood. And yet, the film captures the internal repartee as well, like Naga girls sniggering at a Nepali girl who tries cooking Axone, saying it was not her cup of tea, signifying many layers of racial and cultural mismatch. Some people take a dig at the snobbish Indian. You snigger at Akuni, but you sure will slurp Japanese natto like pros. For that stuff, though almost the same in taste and smell, is an international cuisine, served in a 5-star hotel. Meanwhile, food nerds now sneak it as a secret umami bomb, turning boring chicken into party-in-mouth magic. Diaspora life hack: vacuum, seal it, cook at 2 a.m., and pray no one complains. One Bengaluru buddy swears his landlord fled after one whiff. A straightforward victory for the alkaline spirit, isn't it? Every pungent gram of Akuni remains a sovereign reign of the palate, an unyielding reminder of home that refuses to bow out, no matter how heavy the atmosphere of the city. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel for more insights from Northeast India. Thanks for watching.